What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the shop. My name's Corey. Today we're going to be tearing apart our jet ski here to build our jet john. I'm just going to kind of fill you in as we move through the steps of taking apart this ski. This is a 1993 Yamaha 700. Said it was a 650 last time. I was looking at the tags. Turns out it is a 700, so that's awesome. Previously I looked at the motor tags, and I think the motor tags for the 650s are the same. There's just a different displacement inside the engine. We'll get to tearing this thing down. I'm going to start by pulling everything out of the cap here and then pulling the hatch off, and then we'll get the seat and everything off of there, and then we'll kind of talk about a couple different ways that you could go about getting everything out of this hull. At the end of the day, this ski isn't going to exist anymore because I do want the whole bottom side of the hull. So we're going to be doing a lot of cutting on fiberglass. Wear some PPE, wear some clothes that don't matter, because you're going to be getting itchy, you're going to be getting glass and everything, and for sure wear a respirator when you go to do any of this. Let's get started off with just getting the hatch off and getting everything off the top so we can cut that top cap off. So let's get into that. So one thing to note while you're taking apart your ski is look around and look for anything cool that you can reuse. I wasn't aware that Yamaha's had so many cool things going on with them, like hidey holes and stuff like that. Like right here, this whole guy can be removed. It's just a watertight compartment. Boom. Ain't nothing in that one except motor shim, so we can clean her out, but this thing just screws in and it lifts out. This guy lifts out. So you can see the size of that cylinder there. That's a good hidey hole. If you need to waterproof anything, that's the way to do it, and you just pull that out of there, save that for your build. Similarly, you've got your battery box here. I mean, this thing is awesome. If you're gonna stay with this size battery box, you've got hardware, you got the box itself. It's supposed to be watertight. That probably needs to be fixed, but I'd imagine this whole box pulls out, so we'll find out if that's the case or not. Then moving on to around just everything. Look at this hardware that you can get. That's some good stuff. The latches off the seats, everything like that. You'll be able to pull out all these D-rings if you want to. I mean, you got all sorts of hardware. This is your reverse lever, bunch of wire holders, stuff like that. I mean, the steering gear, all of this. So even little things like the latch to hold this up, maybe you'll want that on one of your hatches on your boat. I'm going to strip all of this. I'm going to pull these hinges out. Then I'm going to start working everything off the sides of the boat all the way around. And then when that's said and done, the goal is to basically cut the whole top part of this cap off, pull that off, and then that'll give us access to the bottom here. And then once I have access to that, I'm basically going to cut a rectangle out where the motor sits, and that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. That's going to give us a lot of key features like measurements for motor mounts, just overall placement of where everything needs to be as far as the drivetrain is set up. A lot of people just usually bolt that into their boat. I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to weld this thing. In order to figure that out, I need to get the jet pump assembly out. So that's really the goal today, is get everything stripped out, get it cut down to what we want out of the boat, and then get the jet pump assembly out of it so I can start mocking that up against my boat. Let's go ahead and get into disassembly, and then we'll get into cutting after that. Well, now you can see we've got some serious weight reduction going on. I've got everything removed from the top half of the ski here. So, power box assembly, all the hose reel and everything. Everything's disconnected. So now we should be able to start doing some more weight reduction, and that's the overall goal here. We're gonna pull all of this off. So let's get some saws out. Now, from the research I've done on all the other builds on YouTube. I've seen a lot of guys just start hacking these up, cutting them up, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I think the most clever one I've seen so far, where they took a skill saw and they just cut along the seam here, which it's glued together. It's two halves just glued together, right? So if we cut along the seam all the way around it, that's including the rear of it, we should be able to get that cap to pretty much lift off. Now, if you notice when I was showing you the inside there towards the rear, there's a rib system that goes across where the mid shaft is mounted, and it's just, I guess, an overall brace for the center of the ski. I will have to mess with that, try to cut that out, or maybe I might be able to just use a pry bar and pull that glue apart. So kind of have to play with that. Let's get this thing cut up. All right, well, that actually went really well. I wasn't expecting the chop saw to do as good as it did. Or skill saw. I'm not a wood guy. Yeah, thing came apart pretty good. I used the Sawzall in a couple of spots I knew the skill saw wouldn't get into really. Check it out. Yeah. So we've got our pile of good stuff over here. Then everything we're about to trim out is going to go here. I'll eventually cut all this up too. Then I can bag it and discard it in an appropriate manner. Now the hull, she got to get trimmed up. This is the thickest part of the whole thing, so it's the hardest to cut up. If I keep using the skill saw, it shouldn't be that bad. Pretty cool how they did this whole design. The jet pump assembly does install into the hull. We're gonna have to do a couple different things to make this work in there. That's part of the fun, right? Ultimately, I want to keep everything I could possibly use to give me measurements and everything like that for driveline angle. And worst comes to worst, I can always do what the other guys did, which is bolt this into the bottom of the hole, which I don't want to do that, but that's a plan B. So always be ready for a plan B. I'm gonna come in here, cut out this ribbing, start ripping down the sides here and see where that takes us. And maybe before I do that, I'll go ahead and remove the gas tank. That'll give us a little bit better of an idea. And really, I don't need to cut up to here. I want to cut up to right here in front of the engine. Pretty cool. I really like this. I accidentally caught some of my exhaust tube with the Sawzall, so I'm hoping that's not cut through. If so, that'll probably be getting some nice metal wrap, and I'll call that good. Everything else seems to look pretty good on this thing. I'm excited. And as you saw, she runs and everything, so that's all good. I guess we'll go ahead and pull the fuel system out, and then we'll continue cutting on everything from there. Well, you know what? That really wasn't too bad. Gas tank and everything just, I mean, it all just pulled out fast. Honestly, I can't believe it. So I got the gas tank over there, got the motor sitting inside right there. All right, so the last couple things we're gonna do is continue fishing these wires, cables back. I'm gonna make sure I get all of my nipples out. The goal here is to cut down the rest of this hull to what I want to keep. Not only that, but get the jet pump out. We'll keep messing with these cables, And then we'll come in here, cut the sides down and everything, get those bagged up, and then trim out the rest of the bottom of our hull. We're gonna come up just in front of the motor mounts here, and then we'll be good to go. Yamaha did an incredible job. These guys didn't use any kind of glue or sealant except where it absolutely had to be, which means everything that went through the back of the hull where the jet pump assembly was, they used washers and pressure. Everything came out real great, came out easy. There was only one screw that gave me issues that was bound up inside its little anchor nut there. I'm impressed. That was pretty cool, man. We got the hull cut down. I could have gone a little bit more, but I did so much cutting, y'all. I hate cutting fiberglass. I'm covered in it. Wearing a respirator sucks because when you got a beard, they don't do much because it doesn't seal down here. But fortunately, the big pieces of fiberglass ain't gonna make it through that. That's what I'm gonna tell myself anyway. I'll probably be miserable the next 2 days, hawking up a lung or something, but I did my best to wear some PPE. I was covered. So I guess we'll see. Anyway, back to this guy. This thing's looking great. Anything I'm going to need for my fabrication, all the measurements, everything like that, it's here. And from my understanding, there is a 0-degree rake to the drivetrain, so it's perfectly flat. There ain't nothing weird going on. Really, it's just a matter of finding the bottom to the top of my mounts for the motor, matching that up with the bottom of my jet pump assembly. Wherever that lines up to the bottom of the boat here, and where I mount my jet pump assembly will determine where everything goes here. Got me a sweet pile of goodies. This bin came out of the underseat area on the ski, which is great, and it turned into this really nice box I could collect all my hardware in. I've got cables, I got tubing, I got pipes, I got the battery tray, the muffler thing, whatever that might be. All the rest of this I'm gonna bag up and take and dispose of appropriately. This guy I'm just gonna save. I'll get the cleanup going on here, and I'll get the boat back up on the trailer, and I'll get this tucked away until we're ready to start doing all of the fabrication on the boat. What's crazy though is front to back, these two jet pump assemblies are about the same. That's for a GP 1200, and this is from the 700, which they're 144 millimeter impellers, and the GP 1200 has a 155 millimeter impeller. So I'd be curious to know if my impeller shafts are different, because everything else on the mid shaft assembly looks about the same except for the length of the mid shaft itself. This one's actually huge and is a little concerning because I was hoping to save some space going smaller, but the mid shaft assembly is like this. It's weird, so I got to play with that and see what that's actually going to give me. But I'll be able to take measurements off of this guy now and actually be able to tell where everything's going to land in the boat. and that'll give me a great idea about what I'm gonna do. Now, one of the other issues on why I didn't use this GP 1200 assembly is that I'm missing induction grate, which the guy I bought this from is supposed to be sending me. Been waiting to hear back from him today. That would complete this offset on the bottom here. That's kind of a problem because this is all cast aluminum, which means it's weldable, and I was going to weld stuff. That not being flat is a concern. I don't really want to try to weld with that. Now this assembly, on the other hand, that is a really flat plane. My opportunity to just weld this guy in much higher than trying to weld this guy in. That's got a separation, and even if I get that piece, still not going to be sealed, so I'd have to do quite a bit to make this work, which is possible. This is just a much better platform. And if you're considering doing this and you're going to weld everything because you've got the stuff to do it, you're going to want one of these pumps. Now you can also get the Wave Runner 500. They have a similar style pump housing, and our induction housing anyway, but the impeller is a 133 millimeter. That's the 500. You step up to the 650, 700, 800 range, you're getting the 144, and then when you go beyond the 800, you're looking at the 155 jet pump assembly, and this is what the type of unit you're going to be getting versus this guy right here. Now you can see here I've got my induction grating, and it's just part of the unit. It just kind of sits into it, where on this guy it is part of the overall being of the unit. Not trying to do anything crazy with this. It just so happens I ended up with a full working jet ski for $350, where this jet pump assembly itself would be $350. So I've already got more into this GP 1200 unit. It's to be determined. We'll get this water inlet grate in and I'll take a look at it. If I want to save it, I will. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and sell and try to get my money back, because realistically they'll sell you just half of this for like 250 bucks. So if you can find this whole assembly for 350, you're doing good. And if you can find, well, an entire jet ski that runs great for $350, then you're doing really, really good, you know? So it really actually tore me up a little bit to cut this guy up. Now I've got a pile of jet ski when I had a nice running jet ski and I was out ripping around on the water. Oh, driving me crazy, man. It is what it is, had to be done. We're gonna make a really cool boat from that unit, so I'm not really too upset. Still a little sad, but not too upset. Anyway, this is gonna wrap it up for me today, unless you guys want to hang out and watch me clean. I appreciate you guys joining me for this build, and I cannot wait to get into the fabrication portion of this, which is gonna be the next series. So I'll see you there. Thanks for joining me again, and y'all have a good evening. Bye. The water, it's calling to me, and my little jet ski I just cut up into pieces. Poor little jet ski. Fare thee well until we meet again as a John Jet.